So, Fox 4 News' Amy Lou reported on July 23rd, 2019 on Francisco Garcia about his unjustified detainment by Immigration's Customs Enforcement, even though that he had all supporting documents to prove that he was an American citizen. This was not the fault of human error or the fault of mistaken identity. This was the fault of our corrupt immigration policies that have been in place by this current administration. The current administration has created a crisis that violates human rights. First, I'll talk to you about the lengthy process to become a United States citizen. Secondly, I will discuss how the current immigration policies have created a sense of fear and xenophobia. And lastly, I will discuss solutions for smoother acclimation of immigrants into the United States. So according to the United States Citizens and Immigration System Services, they state that it takes about 5 years after being a permanent resident for an immigrant to become a U.S. citizen. So really, the journey starts by obtaining that permanent residency status. Although there's many ways to get a permanent residency visa, or also known as a green card, it is very difficult due to the fact that there's a lot of loopholes going around, and there's not enough manpower to process all these background checks. Also, as well, it's a financial burden for a lot of the families to obtain legal aid for immigrations. Another factor is that the United States Citizens and Immigration Services sometimes forces immigrants to go back to the country of origin to petition and file for permanent residency without securing their right to go back to their families. Current immigration policies also foster fear and hate within communities. One such example is reported by CBS News, the tragic events that happened in August 4th of 2019, in which a domestic terrorist went to go shoot a Walmart, targeting Hispanics. The terrorist also cited the administration's immigration policy on how to get rid of quote-unquote invaders. And also, as well, the manifesto that he wrote up himself also included ideologies of how Hispanics are sought to take over both the political and economic spectrum of the area. One of the things that a lot of people will oppose on me on will be the fact that immigrants are criminals. Yes, although they have broken the law by entering in, so have many of us here today, such as speeding or trespassing. Although we don't consider ourselves criminal, we don't consider ourselves criminal because we have not been caught. It's only until you get caught that is when you start thinking yourself as a criminal and you're labeled as a criminal. That's the ideology of a lot of immigrants. They come into this country, some of them don't even know the law, some of them risk their lives, but they're doing it for the betterment of themselves and of their families. They're not doing it for them. So that is the main difference between a criminal and someone who just wants a better life. In an article posted by Opposing Views, Americans also cite that immigrants bring drug problems. They bring drugs into America. Although it may still happen, there's a supply and demand. America wants drugs. So it is a problem that's within American walls. It is a problem that America has to deal with on its own, not immigrants. And that's not an immigration problem. There will be a way for drugs to get obtained, even without immigrants. Val Elliott's article on QC Research also found that there is no direct correlation between immigrant communities and communities without immigrants when it comes to violence or crimes. There is no scientific evidence for it. So now I'm talking to you about some of the solutions. In an article Opposing Views, they have demonstrated how effective the Reagan administration was with the immigration reform of 1984, in which they granted amnesty or forgiveness to a lot of the immigrants. Now, who came to this country though before 1982 without a criminal background check. This could also be followed by military service, or community service to help out homeless veterans. So, today I'll talk to you about the lengthy process of becoming a U.S. citizen. Secondly, I'll talk to you about how these current immigration policies create a sense of fear and hate within communities. And lastly, I discuss solutions for a smoother acclimation into American society. I fear that one day I will be stopped just for the color of my skin and maybe deported back to a country I've never been to, even though I provide the following documents. Okay.
So